Hello everyone. Today you will learn about reading from file and some file methods you should be aware of. And then I will show you how to use these methods in PyCharm. First, what is a file? File is a named location on disk to store related information. It is used to permanently store data in a non-volatile memory. Since RAM is volatile, which loses data when computer is turned off, we use files for future use of the data. Reading from file. In Python, a file operation takes place in the following order. When we want to read from a file, we need to open it first. When we are done, it needs to be closed, so that resources that are tied with the file are freed. So basically, first step is open a file. Second is read or write. Today I will show you how to read. And the last and very important step is closing the file. Python file reading methods. There are various methods available with the file objects in Python. These are the methods we will use today. First method is read. Read at most n characters from the file. Read till the end of the file if n is negative. But if we don't put any parameter there, it will read the whole file. And second method is read line. Read and return a list of lines from the file. And the last method is read lines. Reads more than one lines. It takes every line from the file as a list. Now, let's move PyCharm to test these methods. Okay, first I create a new variable to open the file. Open function takes two arguments. First is file name and the second is file mode. Today I will use lowercase r to read the file. Don't forget to close the file when you're done. I'm already because not forget later. If you don't put anything in the second parameter, it defaults to opening the file for reading, but it's always good to show the feature you want to open. So if there is no file with that name, we get file not found error. For handling that error, we must write an exception. Let's write an exception and see what's happened. File not found, as you want to see. But on the other hand, the file you want to open maybe won't be in the same directory as your program file. You need to provide a file path which tells Python to look in a specific location. For example, if our file is on desktop, you can use this path. Okay, now create a file to directory where my program file are. Put some words in here. Now try to read characters from the file using read method and enter the number of characters we want to see. 5 characters. But if we don't put anything here, it will read the whole file. Okay, now the other method. Read lines. Read line. It reads one line at a time. If we call this method 3 times, it will read 3 lines. Oops. The problem is the extra blank lines in there, because the print statement ends with a new line by default. If we add there an empty string to the end, then it will no longer extra blank lines. Copy and paste all of them. It works as well. Now let's move to the other method. Print lines. It takes every line from the file as a list. Basically, it makes a list of lines from file. I want to talk about the convenience Python provides us is with keyword. It's always important to make sure you close the files that you open, but when you use with keywords, you don't need to close files again. Python will figure that for you. All you need to do is open the file and work with it as desired. We can do the same operations here. Of course, without close the file. As you can see, this structure is very important when you write an advanced program. You open few files and you may forget to close all of them. Then you should use this. Now I use for loop for reading line by line. Comment this. Same extra blank appears here too, so I use the same method we used before. Oops. Okay, if we want to read the entire content of the file and store it as one long string, we can use read function. I create a new variable. The only difference between this output and the original file is the extra blank line. The blank line appears because read method returns an empty string when it reaches the end. If you want to remove that line, you can use this method. Now, the output matches the contents of the original file exactly. Okay, so far we focused on analyzing a text file that contains only 3 lines. Now do another example where just much larger files. I created a file containing a few lines of p number. I want to print just the first 50 decimal of p number, so we don't have to watch a million digits scroll by in the terminal. First, I want to create a new list that holds file lines and new p string that holds our p number and looping in the list. I'm gonna add every line in the list. Now the p string holds the entire value in the file. So we want to see 50 decimal after the comma. There were 2 numbers before the comma, so I'm gonna write 0 to 52 decimal. Let's run this code. Okay, I forgot to change the file name. Yeah, this is what we want to see. Something is broken in the back. Anyway, what I want to show you in this example is Python has no inherent limit to how much data you can work with. You can work with as much data as your system's memory can handle. So there's a lot of other modes and stuff that we're going to get the data, but for now, that's it. I hope this information works for you. Thank you all for watching. See you next time.